Hello again. Yes, it's me. Are you worried? Are you bored? Or what? Whatever. I'm going to go for it anyway. Excuse me one moment. I've got a bit of a frog in my throat, which I get sometimes. I'm back on the PM versus CM trail again. And this question was from the recent PMI Thailand chapter I did. The question was asked by a Khun Piyawit Manpanpanich, who is the Deputy Director Product for TC2P, which is a global payments platform headquartered in Thailand and Singapore and helps businesses securely accept payments across online, mobile and in-store channels. The question was, quite simply, I've never seen change managers in an Agile project, so may I ask what is their role and how does a change manager create value in an Agile environment? Thanks for that, Khun Piyawit. Much appreciated. I kind of answered a similar question not so long ago about Scrum Masters and change management, but this is actually coming at it from a slightly different angle. So let me give you a bit of the usual context, shall I? As with other project management disciplines, Agile project managers focus on doing things technically right by making certain they deliver to time, cost and quality. How many times have I used that phrase recently in my PM for CM sessions? Loads of times. Anyway, in Agile, however, they're doing this in short sprints rather than saving it all for the end. This has the potential basically to create ongoing disruption and create some implications for change management working in that kind of environment, obviously. One, there's less time to actually plan anything, so any change management templates, tools, etc. are less useful. Two, you have less opportunity to formalize and standardize. Number three, because individuals can be exposed to the changes earlier, there is more immediate disruption. And since there is a direct correlation between disruption and resistance, resistance occurs much earlier and must be planned for and managed earlier. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Number four, given all of the above, change practitioners must be more adept and able to make judgment calls rapidly and often. You need to think at three different levels when working with Agile: project level, release level, and iteration or sprint level. At the project level, excuse me again, must have been the frappe I just had. Anyway, sorry. At the project level, you still need to undertake some upfront work to gauge the change readiness and people risks associated with the project. While the specific functionality may not be known, the intent will be known at the beginning, right at the beginning of the project. Things like strong and visible sponsorship, communications, and solid stakeholder management will still be needed at the project level and planned in your work streams at the very least. Also, during your stand-ups and other feedback sessions to ensure people risks are discussed. At the release stage, this is where users will actually see the changes being made. User training, user documentation and communication will be needed for each release. Gaining feedback from the broader user community and pulling it back into the project for improvements for the next release also helps increase the success levels of a project. During then each iteration or sprint, you need to work closely with the project team and ensure the project uses real users in the project rather than full-time user testers. Understand how people risks might be impacted by this specific set of functionality and ensure appropriate actions are taken to mitigate those risks. Just considering these pointers, it's clear that the role of change management becomes more involved and convoluted when working in Agile projects. Agile change management means not only introducing users to and involving them in the development of new products and platforms, but also influencing them to think differently about the process. In an Agile change program, activities have a slightly different flavour than in traditional programs. Just as discovery and development are continuous and iterative, so too are the change management activities. Bet your life they are. The manifesto for Agile software development identifies the following values: individuals and interactions over process and tools, working software over comprehensive documentation, customer collaboration over contract negotiation, and responding to change over following a plan. That's interesting. I've never seen them before. But three of those four main values are directly rooted in the people side of change, which involves requiring people to do things differently. There are two dimensions of change management related to Agile development: change management in Agile processes and change management when moving from waterfall to Agile. When the people side of change to Agile is effectively managed, there are fewer obstacles and greater success in managing the people side of change in Agile initiatives. On the flip side, when the move to Agile is managed poorly, there is a greater level of resistance to Agile overall, and more obstacles will be encountered when attempting to integrate change management into Agile projects. So finally, to summarise, when incorporating your change management approach into an Agile environment, you don't need to change what you actually do. Rather, you need to change the frequency of and how you deliver the change management activities. Does that sound reasonable? I could have actually said that one paragraph in answer to the question, couldn't I? But hey, you know me, I like to talk a bit. C'est la vie. See you again shortly.